All right, it's been a couple of weeks since I posted my last video. Reason for that is I was on a bit of vacation with my wife. We had a great time in Colorado. We did a lot of hiking, biking. Our dogs enjoyed the time off as well. Plus, with work, it's been a little bit crazy. So unfortunately, I did not have time to shoot too many videos. But today, I want to do a quick book haul. It's been a minute since I've done a book haul. I have some books from authors that I haven't read. And that's always exciting when you get a chance to discover new authors. Some of these authors, bit of a shameful admission that I have not read them. Consider Fleabag, Iain M. Banks, Culture Series. Don't beat me up too much in the comments, please. Please. I will be reading Iain M. Banks at some point. I've actually cracked Player of Games a couple of times and then decided, well, maybe since it's not the first book in this series, maybe I should start with Consider Fleabag. I didn't have it at the time. Of course, with the culture, I know you can read them in any order, and many people consider Fleabag not to be the height of the culture achievement. Use of Weapons, Player of Games are probably the two books most people talk about. But maybe I'll just start with this one and kind of go through the series properly. Planetfall, Emma Newman. I do want to mention that there are a lot of female authors in this book haul on the science fiction side, because I will actually show you some books that my wife picked up recently. I just pulled some off the shelf that are obviously not science fiction. We have, there's some overlap for sure, but we do have different tastes in books. But anyway, I'm all over the place. Female authors. I should read more female authors for sure. A lot of the classic science fiction books, unfortunately, if you're reading stuff from the 40s, 50s, 60s, there's a bit of a lack of representation. But now things have changed. Emma Newman, Planetfall. This is part of, I think it's a trilogy. I don't know much about it. I know this one, I think, deals with an alien meeting. I love aliens. Who doesn't love aliens? This is one of those things that I hope in my lifetime we get the answer to the age-old question, are we alone in the universe? And I always find it fun to read books from the future perspective where we're meeting these aliens. So we'll see where Planetfall falls on that scale. Connie Willis, Doomsday Book. This is another one in a series. This one, another one of my favorite tropes, of course, who doesn't love aliens, but also who doesn't love time travel? I think there's time travel here. Connie Willis. I have not read Connie Willis at all. Let me know if I should prioritize some of these books and read them this year. I do not buy books just to put them on the shelf, just to be a collector. I buy books to read. I buy books that I want to read. And another one that I want to read is Infinity Gate. I don't know anything about this book, but it's a recent release. It's the first book in the Pandemonium. I think it's called series. Let me know if this is worth my time, if it's worth reading. I think there's a lot of political mystery going on here. I don't know. Nice cover. I like the cover. Let's get back to talking about female authors. Elizabeth Moon. I have not read Elizabeth Moon. What an amazing last name. I don't know if that's, maybe you can leave a comment. Is that her actual last name, Moon? Oh my God, for a science fiction author, that's amazing. Remnant Population. I heard someone talk about this book. I don't know if it was Richard from Vintage SF or maybe Ira. I don't know who talked about it, but someone talked about it and they liked it quite a bit. I want to read it at some point. It seems interesting, seems intriguing. There's a population that's leaving a world, a planet. There's a woman who is mysterious. I think she stays on the planet. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know anything about this book, but I'm going to read it. Stapladeon, Olaf, Stapladeon. Now there's someone from classic SF, back from the golden age. I think this book was written in the 40s. Very well-known author, someone who kind of built science fiction when it was still very new and wrote books that went beyond the pulp. And this one, I think, is an example of that. Cyrus, dog. Of course, hello. For me, this is amazing. I love dogs. And here we have a dog of high intelligence. A dog of high intelligence. So an interesting story. I think this was written in the 40s. So again, right there in the golden age of sci-fi. Fabulous and much needed read, as I do need to read more of those early works. Olaf Stapladeon is definitely one that qualifies as early SF writer. Joanna Russ, on the other hand, another female author. I don't know much about her. I think this was written in the 70s, The Female Man. Interesting book. I know it can be a bit difficult. Feminist. I definitely want to read this at some point. We'll see if I get to it this year or not. So these are some of the science fiction books. I have a couple of non-science fiction books as well. We've got David Grann with The Wager. This book seems right up my alley. This, of course, is not a fiction book at all. It's a true story. But from what I understand, it reads very quickly. It's an exciting book. We have a shipwreck, we have mutiny, we have mystery, we have death. This seems perfect. I love these types of books where humans are put in difficult positions. I had a time where I was reading a lot about climbing, like into thin air, that type of books, and it really sparked my imagination. I did some climbing myself, high altitude climbing. I also had a time where I was reading a lot about deep sea diving, about divers going down super deep to shipwrecks like Andrea Doria in the ocean floor. Just amazing books. Shadow Divers, what an incredible book. I used to be a diver myself at that time, and reading really, again, just put me in those places. So this book, let me know if you've read The Wager. Let me know if I should read this sooner rather than later. It will be read, like I said. And an author that recently passed away, but is slowly becoming one of my favorites, is Cormac McCarthy. I read earlier this year, beginning of the year, I think I read The Road was, I think, the first or second book I read this year. All the Pretty Horses, amazing. The Road really affected me. The Crossing is, I think this would be book 2 in the Border trilogy for Cormac McCarthy, book 1 being All the Pretty Horses, which was just a fabulous book. That one, I think anyone could read. It's just a beautiful book, and it's written in a very easy, approachable language, whereas some of the other McCarthy books can be a bit more difficult for some. I have not seen that yet because The Road, All the Pretty Horses were amazing to me. And here's another McCarthy that I think not enough people talk about, but the ones who do mention this book rave about it. So I cannot wait to get to this one. It's a novel in a dramatic form. So it's essentially written as a play between two people who are talking. One is a white man, the other one is a black man, and they are just discussing life. One of them, I believe, is thinking about committing suicide, and the other one is talking to him with the hopes of maybe saving his life. So anyway, I might be off on that, but that's kind of like what I know about the book or think about this play when I think about it. And now let's get to some of the books that my wife is reading. I'm probably not going to read any of these, but if you actually enjoy some of these books and read them, excuse me, let me know. Let me know. Kristen Hanna, my wife loves Kristen Hanna. Distant Shores is the book she just recently picked up. Wrong Place, Wrong Time, Gillian McAllister. I don't know anything about Gillian McAllister, but this looks like a mystery novel. There was a time where I loved mystery novels. Who are my favorite? I guess Joe Nesbø, the Scandinavian mystery. There was a time where I was really into it. Who else? Michael Connolly. Amazing, right? Bosch and the Poet, Scarecrow. Those books, fabulous. Anyway, Amy Harmon. Let's go through these quickly. From Sand to Ash. I think this is World War II book. Takes place in Italy, 1943, I believe. Yeah, interesting. World War II. I kind of grew up with the myth of World War II growing up in Poland. And I don't know if I've read many books about World War II recently. The Keeper of Hidden Books. Looks like a World War II book as well. This takes place in Warsaw, in Poland. Warsaw is where I was born, where I grew up. So that's interesting. And of course, the theme of books, libraries, saving books, burning books, anything about books is intriguing to me. So that is maybe something I'll consider. If my wife likes it, maybe I'll read it as well. Hello, Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. I don't know anything about this book, but I have seen this book everywhere. And I think my wife already read this one. I don't know if she liked it or not. I'm not sure if it's for me, but you can definitely let me know. And here's one that is very highly regarded, The Covenant of the Water, right? I don't know if you've heard about this book. I don't know if you've read this book. Let me know if it's one that I should consider reading. I'm sure my wife will let me know as well. I think in this case, we have a family and we're like seeing changes over a long period of time. I think it takes place in India. I don't know. Maybe it would just be right up my alley, and maybe I would have a hard time with this book, especially since it's very long. It looks like 800 pages or so. So anyway, this is my book haul. The first, well, it's more than half of year right now, but the first half of the year was amazing, and I'm looking forward to continuing my reading efforts in the second half of the year and enjoying the books and sharing the books I'm reading with you. So yeah, this video is done, but I'm already thinking about the next one. I just recently read another Ishiguro book and I want to compare it to two. So Clara and the Sun, and the one I just read was Never Let Me Go. Ishiguro also is an intriguing author. I wouldn't say he's becoming my favorite author just yet, but I definitely want to read Remains of the Day, A Pale View of the Hills, because he is a unique voice. And I definitely want to compare Clara and Never Let Me Go, because those two are firmly in the science fiction sphere. So I'm excited. That might be my next video. And if you're interested in that, I hope you check it out. So anyway, if you like this one, leave a comment, like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.